Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 12. Got a good one lined up for you again as always today. We're going to go through why I started podcasting. I got another subreddit that we're going to look at that should give us something to think about. And then afterwards, I don't know, we're going to finish up with some nice closing remarks that we'll just pull out of the top of our heads. But for now, why don't we just hop right into the episode. So here it is, without any further ado, episode number 12, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, and here we are in episode number 12. Alright guys, so I wanted to start off this episode by telling you guys about when I first started podcasting and what that journey was like up until the first episode. So around the time I was around the time I was about 20, I started going to a vape shop a lot to hang out, and they had a pool table and I had some friends there, and so I met a lot of people. And that was fun, and I would hang out at the vape shop. Well, anyway, I met this guy named Richie, who ended up becoming a really, really good friend of mine. He lives in Oregon now, but we still communicate. And Richie and I both have the gift of gab, I guess you could say. We're both talkers. So Richie and I decided to start a little show. I got a camcorder. Actually, that's where I bought this microphone, when I bought this microphone. And yeah, and then we rented a storage unit, or I rented a storage unit, and we got a couch and an end table. I actually still have the end table too. It's really cool when the top lifts up. Anyway, so we get the coffee table and the end table, and we set everything up, and we basically set up this storage unit as a recording studio / place to make juice and build coils and stuff, because that's what we were planning on doing at the time. And we recorded a bunch of stuff, but at the time, I didn't have this computer, and my fiance just had a MacBook Air, and I wasn't as adept with editing as I am now, and wasn't as familiar, and so it was really hard to make, and I wasn't really... So that was kind of my first journey into recording things and trying to make something like that. And then, or a few years later, I kind of got into vlogging. I was watching a vlogger at the time, and I kind of got into vlogging with a DSLR camera I had purchased. I was working at Clark Pest Control at the time, so I was making a decent amount of money every 2 weeks. And I'd been into podcasts since like about 2009, but I really jumped into listening to a lot of them all the time around that time, because I had so much available time to listen to things, because I was driving around all the time working for Clark. So I really gotten into podcasts at that time. So that kind of inspired me to start my own, and like started thinking about starting my own and what all that entails. And so when you decide you want to start a podcast, all of a sudden you got all this shit you got to learn if you don't already know about broadcasting or recording or editing or any of how any of this works. You got a whole bunch of shit to learn. So I jumped right into it, and I started looking up articles online and different things on how to podcast and what to do. And so I basically just, over the course of like a few months, I bought everything I needed. I got a tripod. I bought this computer. I got microphones, interface. What else? I got a external capture card. I bought like maybe over $1,000 worth of stuff, and set it up in my parents' garage. So it would all come down and go into my room, and then when it was time to go, I would bring it all outside and then set it up in my dad's garage. And that's when then after I kind of learned everything and got everything, then it was time to learn about the programs, and I decided to use this was before I knew about OBS, so I decided to use GarageBand to record audio, and then we would live stream from my phone. And then I learned about OBS, and I learned that you can live stream from here, and so I got OBS, and so we started live streaming from my parents' garage, and the episode would just be completely streamed, kind of like Joe Rogan. It would be streamed completely, and then just put out there unedited. And those were about 2-3 hours long. And then I learned how to get my episodes not only on YouTube, but then I learned how to take the audio file and put them on another website so I could get them on iTunes. So then I started having them both streamed on YouTube like once a week, and then would also come out on iTunes once a week. And then kind of as things started going, my dad got all uppity about me having friends over once a week to do this show in his garage, and we would smoke pot and drink, and he was getting all upset about it. I was over 21 at this time, so it wasn't like we were breaking any laws. But yeah, so then he told me so finally I did an amazing interview with a good friend of mine who's a physicist, and we talked about what she was working on, and it was super fascinating, and unfortunately, because of bullshit, I lost the files, and I do not have them anymore. Something happened to him, I don't know. But yeah, so that was the last episode my dad ever agreed to let me film at the house, and so after that, there was kind of a long hiatus, and then I did one. My buddies were having a show at one of my other Dylan's house. You guys who have watched The Ramblings know Dylan from there. He turned into my co-host on there. So I didn't know Dylan before this point. I think maybe just a little bit. I go to his house to do an after show podcast, like a live with an audience podcast. And so I come like midway through with all my stuff, and then after the show we kind of break everything down and then set it up, and we do a podcast with maybe 15-20 people watching, and that was really really cool and interesting. I liked that. We talked to the band, and I think we mostly got on the topic of like ghosts and aliens. I don't know why, but yeah, and so I did that with Dylan being my co-host, helping interview them because he knew them better than I knew most of them. And then a few weeks after that, I think I talked to Dylan, and I was like, hey man, would you be interested, or no, then I talked to Dylan and I asked him, hey man, would you be interested in being my co-host and we could like do this here in this room? He was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then, like, I think a month or so passed, and finally I hit him up, and I was like, hey, man, so let's do this. And he was like, all right, fuck yeah. And that's when the Ramblings Reborn happened, and that's when I took the podcast from what it was, where it was just me and then whoever the guest was, or me and my lady and whoever the guest was, to me and Dylan every week, and then sometimes there'd be a guest. And that was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. It was also a good learning process of, like, learning how to build and create a show into something, and then it going off the rails and kind of not being what you wanted it to be anymore. And also it taught me a lot about production and how to do this better, and editing and all that stuff, and streaming and bandwidth. Overall, the idea of getting into podcasting and then officially doing it and finally like dipping my toe in the water and just continuing has been a really great learning experience for me, and has also, I feel, really built my skill of communication. So yeah, once I started podcasting, my ability to communicate and talk to people got better because I was just doing it all the time now, and not just like to ask people questions. Just my ability to speak and concisely convey my point got better, and that's from podcasting and from having to talk a lot. And then I don't know, it kind of improved a lot of things in a lot of ways. And yeah, it was a cool experience. It has been a great experience even up to this point of trial and error and learning and growing and changing and developing. I'm really glad I took those first steps and did the things that got me to this point. It was really cool. I suggest if any of you guys are thinking about podcasting or thinking about getting into something creative, just fucking do it. Just look up what you got to do to get into it, get the bare minimum and do it, and then build from there. And it's always like I always tell my friends who are saying they want to start something and then they never end up doing it, or I always tell my friends whenever they tell me they want to do something, I say, well, then do it. Don't hesitate. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it's never going to come. If you want to do something, do it. Jump into it. Find out what you need to do it, and do it. And if you don't have the money to do it the way you want to do it, start low and work up. Don't think that you're going to start a podcast and immediately have all the best microphones and all the best recording equipment. Just get a 720p webcam, buy a $50-$60 USB microphone and a mic stand. Don't forget a pop filter for a little bit better audio quality and some headphones, and you're fine. Most of us have a computer. Most computers now are able to run OBS fine and record things. Just don't try to go crazy and play games and record all at the same time with a capture card if you don't have enough RAM and storage. But yeah, just bare minimum, bare bones it, and build. And don't hesitate. Start. And no matter what it is, you'll learn a lot from doing it. And not only will it make you better in that particular aspect of your life, but it will help you in most other aspects of your, it will help you in other aspects of your life. And it will teach you a lot, not only about yourself personally, but about what you can, about other people, and about what you can accomplish just on your own. So yeah, there's my little quick 10-minute tale of how I got into doing this, how it all kind of started, and where I built it up from, and where it's gotten to, how it's gotten to this point. So yeah, thank you for sitting through and listening to that story. But I got a good one. I got a good segment now for you guys. We're gonna go through another Reddit called "Our Shower Thoughts," and let's think deep, shall we? Let's get into it. Alrighty, here we are. We are here at Shower Thoughts, and we're just gonna be scrolling through and looking for some good stuff. So this little explanation of this, your essential guide to shower thoughts. Human brain is a decidedly odd machine, often prone to glitches, malfunctions, and internal errors, like inexplicably deciding that raisins are an acceptable addition to cookies. However, within the confines of that chaos, something intriguing occasionally occurs. A seemingly mundane detail about the world will suddenly become more interesting, having been viewed from a slightly different perspective than usual. This sort of miniature epiphany is called a shower thought. So that's what these are, little miniature epiphanies that people have. Right. Here's one. Only humans are smart enough to propose a plan to stop the next great extinction, and unfortunately, the only species dumb enough to reject such ideas. Lame. Stop getting political on funny internet stuff. Wow, here's a good one. Blurring genitals in Japanese porn is someone's job. I guess nobody ever thinks about that, right? We just assume that there's like a program, but yeah. Somebody's got to watch all the Japanese porn that comes out in Japan just to blur out all the genitals. Huh. Talk about a hard job. But trying to fall asleep with insomnia is like trying to shut down a computer with applications still running. Good observation. Only 10% of the toilet paper is used to wipe shit. The rest is there to protect your hand. Whoa. There's something you don't think about every day. If stoners hung out at old age homes, the elderly would get someone to talk to, and stoners would get someone mature to have deep philosophical conversations with. That's you're giving stoners a real big benefit of the doubt there, buddy, thinking that they are mature enough to have deep philosophical discussions and not just wonder why a love seat is called a love seat. Shout out Cat Williams. Oh, I've heard something like this before already. This was a meme. Treehouses are trees forced to hold its own dead friend. Ooh, that's gruesome and super true. Unborn babies are the only people allowed to kick pregnant women. Why do you think of that? North Korea is the world's biggest and hardest escape room. So, my girlfriend, okay, so I saw this the other day, not on here, but on something else, and my lady pointed something out. Starfish have their mouths at the center of their body, and mermaids use starfish as bras. So mermaids are just getting their nips sucked all the time. But my lady pointed out that they use clamshells for the most part. They don't use starfish. Most of the time when you see a mermaid, it's shells above her titas, not starfish. So I don't know where they're getting this. Maybe there was a mermaid with starfish on her titties. The least realistic point of WALL-E isn't the robots or space travel or apocalypse. It's that a corporation would bother to fix the environment on its own volition. I can't believe that humans would flee to space and leave robots to fix stuff, but a corporation cleaning up its mess for free? BNL is the hero, not the villain. Damn, someone's thinking deep on that. That's a real stoner shower thought right there. Having sex as a teen consists of making sure your parents never know. Having sex as a parent consists of making sure your kids never know. That spider you killed may have spent its entire life thinking you were its roommate. If spiders knew the concept of roommates, yeah. Someone developed the internet without the help of the internet. It's someone's job to make hentai sounds. That's true too. You never think about that kind of stuff, because like that's all voice acted. It's not computer generated voices. So somebody's literally got to go into a booth and moan for like 6 hours until they have the right 5 moans to use for the game. Oh my god. For every video game, there's a guy who made grunting sounds in a recording studio for a day. This ties perfectly into the hentai, into the hentai one. Very true. Very true. I want that job, though. I want that job. Can I just be the guy that makes the noises for video games and for animations? I can literally just make background like that you could just hear in a hallway, slow it down a little. Like, I want that job. Before electricity was invented, getting coal from Santa wouldn't have been that bad. Yeah, maybe we mixed around the traditions. The good children got the coal to stay alive, and the bad children got presents to play with until they basically died from hypothermia. Mosquitoes are one of the few things that are first, second, and third world problems. Except in the third world, they're like this fucking big. Holy shit. If you ever think about it, gorillas don't know anything about bodybuilding, so we never saw one at full strength. Dude, could you imagine a gorilla fucking just getting jacked? I mean, they're already just huge. Could you imagine if a gorilla literally worked out like a bodybuilder? Holy fuck. I wonder if there's a picture of that. Oh my god. So I didn't find a buff ape, but what I did find disgusted me even more. It's a meme that says vegan diet, then there's a picture of a gorilla and it says still more buff than any human, and he's got his fist up. Shut up. How about also different genetics, you fucking morons? Sorry, you guys have heard my stance on vegans. Your second toe feels like the middle finger of your foot. Doesn't it, though? Doesn't it? I never thought about that. That's totally true. It totally does, because when you can, like, raise that one toe, and it's like it feels like you're flipping somebody off, but it's really not the middle toe, but it feels like it's that. I get it. This dude's on my level. Oh my god, that's so true. One day, retirement homes will be playing reruns of shows like The Office, Friends, and Parks and Rec. And my fiancé will love it. She loves all of those shows. I don't know about Friends, though. I don't know if she's ever... I've never actually watched Friends, like, seriously either. Don't hate me. That's super true. Each time you light your lighter gets lighter until your lighter gets so light it won't light anymore. Fucking stop it! I'm sad now. Yes, thank you. Vegans claim to want to help animals, but they eat all the animals' food. Oh, I saw this yesterday. Honestly, the least realistic part about the Magic School Bus is that a public school has a class size of 8. For real, nobody ever questioned, where the fuck are the other kids? And who said it was a public school? Did it say it was a public school? Maybe it was a private school, and that's why they had to fly around on that fucking bus. 1 in every 100 people go through their life not knowing they're in the top 1% for intestine length. I couldn't think of anything more useless to know. Yes, super true. Geese are to ducks what wasps are to bees. Because fuck geese. Fucking assholes. And fuck a wasp, too. Don't kill bees. We need those things. But wasps, kill all of them. They eat spiders. Spiders are decent. Except for some of them that want to kill us. But that's, few and far between. If humans have stories about surviving animals, then animals must have stories about surviving humans. Could you imagine, like, 2 elk talking to each other after, like, long after the rut, and they're chilling, and one of them goes, "Hey, man, I got hunted last year?" And the other one goes, "No way, dude. What happened?" He goes, "Yeah, man, you see this nick on my right antler? Dude was aiming a little too high, missed me just above the head. I sprinted off 40 yards. Popped off another one, hit me in the ass, man, but I kept going. I got out of there. Had Missy suck it out of my ass." They can't use their hands, so it's a little SO elk woman. Yeah, that just about wraps up the episode. That's really all I got for you guys today. No closing remarks besides the usual sentiments of love those close to you, care for your friends, and be kind, I guess. What is it? What does Patton Oswalt's wife say? Oh yeah, it's chaos, be kind. So basically that's all I got for you guys today. I told you guys how I started podcasting and how you can start podcasting and kind of what that process is to creating something for the first time. And then we looked through an interesting Reddit that had some really deep and also some really stony thoughts for us. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Be sure to leave a like and a comment on this video, and let me know what you guys think or what you guys think I could be doing in the future to improve. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a video, which should be almost every day or every other day. Make sure to give this a listen to on iTunes or Google Play. If you are listening to this on iTunes or Google Play, if you could so kindly leave me a review and rate 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars, whatever you want to rate. But leave us a review and rate so the overlords at Apple know that you like us and can recommend us more. And yeah, thank you guys. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Mwah. Thanks for coming over, guys.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.